On the way, I saw things no human being should ever see. I saw bodies on the roads, murdered children. We ran across the entire area shouting, "Is anyone alive?" But no one answered. Told me over the radio that terrorists were near me. I felt extreme fear. I cried out to God. Every second in Gaza was fear. It hurts me deeply when I see what the world believes. When people believe Hamas propaganda.
Shalom, my dear friend. Right now, you guys are about to see a beautiful testimony of a member of our congregation, Venya, a young guy who went through this horrible war. Started from October 7th. He was there and he witnessed it all and he experienced it all. And you guys are about to see it. So let's take a look.
Hi, Benjamin. Tell us how you came to Israel and how you became part of our congregation, Living Israel.
I came to Israel in 2021. I always knew I was Jewish and that I had the right to make Aliyah, but my family, school, and friends kept me where I was. And then suddenly something shifted in my mind. I just gathered my documents, packed my things, and flew to Israel. Even on the plane, I was sitting there thinking, what am I doing? I'm going alone, without family, just an ordinary teenager going to build a life from scratch in a foreign country, a different language, a different culture. But something inside of me was calling me to Israel, and here I am. As soon as I arrived in Israel, another conflict with Gaza broke out. Rocket attacks started, and I wasn't ready for that. But suddenly I felt a very strong desire to join the army. I didn't want to just sit and do nothing. I wanted to help. My mom in Ukraine found the phone number of Pastor Michael Sadovsky from Living Israel, called him, and asked him to support me because I was completely alone in the country. I met with the youth pastor, came to the congregation, and found a new family. Everything was amazing, but the feeling didn't leave me. I felt I had to join the army, specifically a combat unit.
You had just arrived in a new country. Why did you decide right away to join a combat unit?
I'm the kind of person that if I do something, I do it to the maximum. I know every unit in the army is important, but I wanted to go into the most combat-ready forces. I wanted to go through full combat training. I wanted to become strong, to become a man, to feel fulfilled. I knew combat service would raise me to a new level. When I arrived, I didn't understand a single word. There wasn't a single Russian or Ukrainian soldier in my group. It was a challenge, but it was from God, because thanks to this, I learned Hebrew very quickly. I served in Ashkelon. I had just finished basic training, and on October 6th, 2023, I stayed on base. At around 7 a.m. on October 7th, my commander woke me up and told me the war had started. He said terrorists were inside Israel, and that we were urgently heading out to rescue people near the Gaza border. We didn't know how many terrorists had infiltrated. There were only 3 of us in the car as we drove toward the Nova Festival. On the way, I saw things no human being should ever see. I saw bodies on the roads, murdered children, elderly people, women who had been raped in their homes, burned houses. I saw things that should not exist on this earth. Hamas did everything that day to kill as many people as possible. I couldn't comprehend that human beings are capable of such things. My mind refused to believe what was happening. We reached the site of the Nova Festival and found mountains of bodies. They were everywhere. We ran across the entire area shouting, "Is anyone alive? Is anyone alive?" But no one answered. It was unbearable. For me, the hardest thing was seeing dead children. I still see them in my mind. By evening, we returned to the base, gathered all the equipment, but we didn't have enough bulletproof vests. They told us we'd have to enter Gaza like that. There was no time. Hamas had taken hostages, and maybe there was a chance to save someone. We couldn't waste a minute. At 6 p.m. on October 7th, I was already inside Gaza. We stayed only 3 hours because our commander was wounded. He's disabled now. He lost his shoulder. He was shot twice. We were pulled out because it became too dangerous. Hamas planted mines everywhere and set up snipers, knowing Israel would come for the hostages. The night was terrifying. We guarded the border to prevent another infiltration. At around 5 a.m., I was on duty when they told me over the radio that terrorists were near me. I felt extreme fear. I cried out to God. And suddenly it was like I came back to myself, standing next to other soldiers who told me I had eliminated 3 terrorists. I didn't remember anything.
So you don't remember it at all?
Anything. My body was trembling. I felt sick, and in my mind there were just fragments of what happened. Imagine this. We were 18-year-old guys just starting our service, and this is what we faced. On October 21st, I entered Gaza again for about 60 days. We had serious combat. It was terrifying. One day, one of our commanders was killed. At that moment, something inside all of us went dark. We didn't want anything anymore. We were broken. After the funeral, they sent us straight back into Gaza. We knew we had to keep going for the hostages, no matter how we felt, for the families waiting for their sons and daughters to come home. I had a friend, Ido Zano. We were always together. He even listened to me talk about Yeshua and supported the fact that I was a believer. One day, after a long period inside Gaza, we were supposed to go home for a few days. We were getting into the trucks, and something inside me told me to sit in a different one, not the one I was assigned to. I didn't give it much thought, but I switched trucks. As soon as we started moving, terrorists ran toward the truck. I didn't board, shooting RPGs and rifles. They blew it up. Many were killed, the rest severely injured. Ido had been with me in the truck just minutes earlier. He took off his helmet because it was hot, and a bullet hit him in the neck. He fell on me, and I carried him to the helicopter that evacuates the wounded. He flew away with the medical team. We were all in shock. Later, they told us he didn't survive. It was devastating. But I knew I had to pull myself together, because unlike the others, I had God. I had Jesus, and I had to support the others the way Jesus supported me. I prayed for my team constantly. I knew that was the only thing that could help.
You fought. You went through the entire war. Tell us about your emotions.
I went through everything: joy, grief, fear, despair. The thing I feared most was losing my faith. When you see so much horror, your mind starts fighting with God. But what helped me was that I constantly saw God protecting me. I saw how He answered my prayers. Every morning I woke up and prayed for God to protect me and my whole unit. I felt responsible, like I had to believe for everyone around me. I told my soldiers about God, encouraged them with my faith, told them to pray, and that God would hear them. That helped me overcome depression and fear.
Did you ever feel joy there? What were you experiencing? And in what moments did you feel joy?
I felt spiritual responsibility for the people around me. I felt incredible joy every time I saw civilians, every time I came back from Gaza. I saw that life was continuing, and that in many ways it was because of us, the soldiers. When you come back from war, even for a few days, everything brings joy. Even small things. Normal food, a hamburger, a shower, a good sleep, just ordinary peaceful life. You know how they say your whole life flashes before your eyes before death? It's true. I saw my life several times, from childhood to the moment I was on the edge of dying. Every second in Gaza was fear. Fear for the hostages, fear of not returning home, fear of what my mother would go through. Several times I should have died, but God saved me. Once I suddenly needed to use the bathroom and stepped away from a spot that was attacked moments later. Once bullets flew right over my head, brushing my scalp, but I'm alive. I heard God speaking to me every day. You are my son. I am with you. He said, you will live and proclaim the works of the Lord. Every morning I wake up and thank God that I'm alive.
You know that all over the world, people go out into the streets to support Palestine. They accuse Israel of genocide, of killing Palestinian children. I served in the army, and I know the truth. You know the truth. We have very strict rules. We're not allowed to shoot just like that. What do you feel when you see all of this happening? What do you feel when the whole army, and therefore you as well, is being called a murderer?
It hurts me deeply when I see what the world believes. when people believe Hamas propaganda. Israeli soldiers are not allowed to fire even into the air for no reason. You will be tried for that. You can go to prison. The army warns civilians long before attacking Hamas infrastructure so that innocent people have time to evacuate. There were moments when an armed terrorist came toward us holding a child in front of him. Because, unlike the rest of the world, Hamas knows an Israeli soldier would never shoot a child. They send 7-year-old children at us with weapons. They are taught from early childhood to kill Jews, to shoot straight at the head. That's the truth. A child with a weapon walks toward you, but you cannot shoot because you could go to prison for life. So yes, it hurts. When you fight for truth, risk your life every second, and then you come out of Gaza and see people in Europe or America marching with flags, singing songs, cursing Israel. It's heartbreaking. I hope that one day people will see the truth, that they'll understand Israel didn't start a single war. On October 7th, Israel was attacked. The biggest terrorist attack in Israel's history. We are defending ourselves. What were we supposed to do after October 7th? All these pro-Palestine activists didn't see what I saw that day. I'm not sure they would stay sane if they did. And what I understand least is how believers can support Palestine.
Right now, there is a ceasefire in Israel. Many soldiers have returned with trauma. Some came back physically wounded. Some have shut down emotionally. They all have needs, physical, emotional, and spiritual. How do you think we can serve these people?
There are a few things. First, we need to pray for soldiers. Second, we need to talk to them, support them, hug them. Sometimes a few words can mean so much to a soldier. Just saying, thank you for your service. You're a hero. Your sacrifice wasn't in vain. Small attention already makes a difference. Those with severe trauma need someone to visit them at home. Sometimes you need to pick them up, take them out, go for a barbecue, do something together, sports, creativity, anything. Most of them shut down and stay alone at home. We need to pull them out and show them that life continues. It would be amazing to have communities, projects, places where this communication could happen.
So they need company, communication, people who care about them, people who ask how they're doing.
Even something like breaking dishes together to release emotions. That would be great.
Benjamin, thank you for sharing your story. We'd like to hear about your future. How do you see your future? What is on your heart?
I see my life in the church, serving children. I love children so much. I really want to open a children's circus. That's what my heart burns for. I want children to be happier, because everything starts with the children. If a country has happy children, that country has a happy future.
Why circus specifically?
I want to bring joy to people. I believe my mission in life is to bring smiles. That's what I did even during the war. I saw power in my joy, how it lifted others even in unbearable circumstances. Our strength is in joy.